The Microsoft Surface Duo is a foldable firecracker that has incredible 360-degree hinges, 2 colorful displays, and amazing multitasking features. A single screen device could never. I spent 2 weeks with the world's thinnest foldable device. But would I recommend it? I'm Kimberly Gideon at Laptop Mag, and this is a Microsoft Surface Duo review. Let's dive into the specs. The Microsoft Surface Duo sports a Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 processor, 6 gigs of RAM, up to 256 gigs of storage, and 5.6-inch AMOLED screens that can unfold into an 8.1-inch tablet. I love how compact, slim, and light the Surface Duo is. It's only a half a pound, and when unfolded, it's only 0.18 inches thin. The ivory white exterior has a smooth, glossy feel to it, and it mimics that minimalist design that other Surface devices have. If you saw me holding the Duo in my hand, you'd probably think it's a coin purse or a tiny white clutch. Speaking of purses, the Surface Duo fits perfectly inside my favorite everyday bag. So let's talk about some of the things I absolutely love about the Surface Duo. The first thing that really fascinates me is what's going on inside the Surface Duo. And once you hear this, you'll probably understand why it costs $13.99. Microsoft told us reviewers that they had to invent new hardware in order to create this amazingly thin foldable device. So Surface Duo engineers had to design a brand spanking new hinge. Now you might be wondering, okay, it's a hinge. What makes a hinge so special? Well, Microsoft was able to make a super sturdy hinge, the smallest hinge that the company has ever created, that allows the Duo to open so fluidly and effortlessly, but at the same time it has enough friction and stability to stop at any position that you'd like. These hinges also route ultra-thin cables between the two displays. The cables are as thin as a hair strand and carry data, power, and control signals between both hemispheres. So whether you want to flip the Duo into tablet mode for greater screen real estate, or entertainment mode for watching Netflix and entertainment, or compose mode for texting, and whatever mode this is called, you can do all of that and more thanks to these 2 incredible hinges. Another interesting tidbit about the Duo is that it has 2 internal batteries, one for each screen. And speaking of batteries, Microsoft claims that the Surface Duo offers 15.5 hours of battery life while running local video playback. But if you know anything about Laptop Mag, we don't take vendor runtimes at face value. We run our own battery life tests that are closer to real-world usage. So we ran 2 web surfing battery life tests on the Duo, and it lasted an average of 9 hours and 32 minutes on a charge. Now let's talk about one little iffy about recommending the Microsoft Surface Duo. The interface. Now, don't get me wrong, the whole concept of juggling 2 apps at the same time is one of the best aspects of the Surface Duo. I love that I can listen to Spotify on the right display and browse through the internet on the left side. I love that I can span one app across both displays. And I really love how you can group your favorite apps together and have them launched simultaneously. For example, you can lump Instagram and Twitter together, and the Duo will launch them both at once. But the interface isn't as buttery smooth as I like. For example, moving the bottom taskbar from the left screen to the right screen requires more swipes than I'd like. Microsoft also boasts that you can watch videos on one screen and take notes on the other. But when I try to take notes on the second display, the keyboard takes up the whole screen so I can't see what I'm writing. Just little things like that really frustrate me about the Duo. And some people might not mind this, but boy are these bezels thick and super unattractive and make the Duo look dated. And that divider you see in the center there, I thought I'd be okay with it, but while watching some of my favorite Netflix shows, it does get in the way and block whatever is in the center of the screen. And for such a pricey device, the displays aren't as crisp and sharp as I expected them to be. but on the plus side, they are colorful. But I must admit, there is something really cool about watching something on a bending, folding display, and tent mode is awesome. Watching videos hands-free is another highlight of the Microsoft Surface Duo. The screen also collects a lot of fingerprints, so I suggest people get a Surface Pen because it is compatible with the Surface Duo and it will minimize fingerprint smudges. It's also worth noting that the Surface Duo only has a USB-C port. There is no headphone jack, but you can use wireless earbuds or USB-C headphones to listen to audio.
Talk about the camera, and here I am using the Surface Duo's camera as we speak. So this device's 11 megapixel camera doesn't have industry-leading specs, but it's okay. I mean, it renders color really well, the images are pretty sharp, but it's nothing to write home about, and it's pretty standard. Microsoft made it really clear when we asked about the camera that the camera's really good, but that wasn't their main investment. Their main investment with the Duo is creating this productivity, multitasking beast that can juggle several apps simultaneously. You also know that this camera supports 4K video recording at 30 frames per second and 1080p recording at 60 frames per second.
And of course, the Surface Duo is in part a phone, so let's talk about that a little bit. You can fold the phone back into a single screen form factor to take calls, but the Duo isn't the most ergonomic for phone calls. And for my little hands, holding the Duo requires a little more stretch than my fingers are used to. And texting requires some extra stretching as well when it comes to reaching for those middle characters, like G and T. One thing I love about the Duo call feature is something called peak mode. When someone calls, you can open the Duo ever so slightly, and if you don't like who's calling, you can shut it with a satisfying snap.
So, would I recommend the Surface Duo? Well, Microsoft would have to make some tweaks about the interface for me to be fully comfortable with recommending this device. Check out our in-depth review on Laptop Mag for more information on how well the Surface Duo performed compared to other high-end smartphones. I'm Kimberly Gideon, and this is Laptop Mag.